reached out to me, said make a theme song for my show. Said alright, just give me all the details, man. And my homie says he don't know. Well, if you're gonna pay me big bucks, cause I might should have something to say. He said, you know what I bring, I'm the customizing king, nothing else matters anyway. So is he gonna have guests? I don't know. Is he gonna go live? I don't know. What time will it be? What will you see? I'm pretty much in the dark, but I can guarantee he'll be customizing action figures, getting paint all on his fingers. It's art by Ackerman. It's art by Ackerman. Tips and tricks and conversation, sharing his gift with every nation. It's art by Ackerman. Art by Ackerman. You best get ready, cause now it's time for Art by Ackerman.
Welcome back to another. This is not how this is supposed to look. Hold on a second. There we go. Welcome back to another episode of Customizing Studio. This is episode 25, which we were supposed to have last week, but I just didn't feel up to customizing. So we didn't. So this is the delayed episode 25, and as of right now, I've just got Kyle with me. Kyle, how you doing, sir?
Fantastic.
Beautiful. And I think Jay is going to be joining us in a little bit. Not sure about others, but we'll see. And all are welcome. If anybody would like the link and would like to come on with us, whether you're popping and swapping or painting or working on dios or drawing or anything creative, just let me know and we will add you to the group chat and you can pop on with us. So, let's go ahead and see who we've got in the chat to start. Looks like we've got Darla Ackerman out there. Says, hey there. Welcome. We also have Ty. So 2 of the 3 people in the chat are in my own house. And then we've got JMax77 here. Says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Well, I was doing a bunch of running around right up until the time of the customizing studio. So I am hot and sweaty and got the fan going. So if you guys can hear the fan, sorry about that. But let's go ahead and see what we're working on. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Kyle. Let's see what you got going.
I got this McFarlane Battle Sister. I'm not doing a traditional color. I'm doing... It's thunderous blue, but it's more like a teal. And I did like a sky blue metallic to it. If I can, there we go. So
very cool.
It'll probably be the thunderous blue, the metallic blue, and maybe gold, maybe silver. I haven't quite figured out what the third color is going to be, but yeah, it's going to be a Battle Sister.
That's cool.
It doesn't look too good with the foam mat or the silicone mat. You can't really see.
Do you have your orc nearby to show people?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay.
There we go. With a Joy Toy Tyranid hand.
Very cool. Man, he's super bloody.
Yeah, he did a little work.
You didn't spare any blood on that one.
Yeah, really. I had to get 3 bottles for it. I didn't use all 3 bottles, but I was kind of worried that it was going to take a lot.
Very cool.
And I got 2 other orcs to go along with it.
All right. As far as mine goes, I'm going to be doing some sculpting today. So I've got these boots I've been working on. I'm going to work on sculpting a little bit, kind of making these teeth transition into the boot a little bit better, smooth this out. So a little bit of sculpting there. I've got this skeleton that I broke the parts of the mohawk off of, so we'll be sculpting some more hair onto that. And then with these wings, so this was kind of a test print that they did on this, because the ones before this they were doing with the wing adapters, and they were 2.0. So this is one of the first 1.0 ones that they had, and it's just a little bit loose in the back, so I can put it in there. It actually is a good fit going in, but then it's kind of loose and doesn't stay there. So it's kind of, and this might be a little bit of a note to any kind of 3D printers out there. stuff like this will heat up and get like these holes in the back will heat up and get soft. So you almost want the peg to be bigger. Not almost, you do want the peg to be bigger than the hole. That way you can heat the hole up and kind of jam it in there and then it'll stay. If you make it the exact same size, it's going to end up being loose. So make the peg a little bit bigger and then you can heat up the figure and pop it in. So just a little pointer there. But what I'm going to do to try to fix this is I'm going to see about adding some UV resin to the peg and just try to thicken it up a little bit and see if that doesn't work to kind of make a little bit tighter fit. So worst case scenario, okay, I can always glue them, but then you've got a permanent situation there. And I really wanted it to still have, mobility. So that's mostly what I'm going to be working on. I could get to some painting today, but I don't anticipate that. I'm probably going to be doing mostly sculpting. So let's see. We've got High Ass Twizzler popped in. Welcome, sir. We've got Cobb is here. Welcome. The Amir, Michael Kaspar is here. And then we've got Recon Rage in the chat, who's been doing his own little customizing with some die-cast cars. So
He should go ahead and join us.
yeah. Yeah, he should. So how's your week been?
It's kind of boring. Nothing really too exciting. Really just trying to get caught up on House of Thrones. That's two different shows. House of Dragons. And also,
this season was phenomenal.
Yeah, I got 2 more episodes and I'll be finished.
I tell you what, the last 2 episodes, in my opinion, are the best 2 episodes of the season. They finished off strong. So
yeah, I hope that I'd say that I definitely say this season has been like the most, not like graphic and gore, but like detailed on storytelling and emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think the girl that plays Rhaenyra is doing a phenomenal job at it.
She's doing great, and I just without spoiling anything, I'll just say that there's a couple folks in there that I did not necessarily like the characters in previous seasons, and they've done some really good character development to where there's some people that I disliked that now all of a sudden are some of my favorites. So yeah. Let's see. J-Max says, looking forward to that wing setup. Should look amazing. Blake says, I will be joining soon, currently at the gym. He says, did you have a mod squad yesterday? No, there was no mod squad. Tanya and Stacy were both at 2 different state fairs. So no mod squad yesterday, but they will be back next week. So, and let me add Blake to our YouTube chat because I don't know if he's in there. That way, if he wants to, he'll have the link for the YouTube. There you go. I just added you to our YouTube messenger chat. So, Cincy John says, have you ever tried those little silicone O-rings they make for loose glasses? You can stretch them over wing pegs and sometimes make them snug. Yeah, those aren't bad. You can also use they've got shrink tubing or heat shrink tubing where you can put over like wires. So like if you're connecting 2 wires, you can slide this like plastic tubing over it and you heat it and it shrinks down to the size. And I have done that to tighten up some things. With something like this, it's so small, like the peg hole is not very deep. And so it doesn't tend to work as well. It still kind of pops loose. So I think this might be the best way to go with this. But yeah, people could try other things and see what works for them. I've tried that stuff in the past, and for this particular thing, I don't think that works real well. Now for like arms, like if you've got a loose arm in the shoulder spot, putting some like heat shrink tubing or one of the things that he's talking about there, That works pretty well for that kind of joint. But for this, not so much. So, and then Blake says he got the invite, and thank you. Well, you're welcome, sir. So, let me go to the bigger layout and get to some sculpting. Let this. I'm using green stuff this time. Sometimes I'll use epoxy sculpt. Sometimes I'll use green stuff. Depends on how much working time I need. With this, I don't think I'm going to need a whole lot of working time. So I'm using green stuff. It's a little bit easier to use for like details and stuff than epoxy sculpt. But if you need like an hour, 2 hours of sculpting time, the epoxy sculpt is really good, and it like gets hard as a rock when it's done. So
I might have to pick up some sculpting putty, because one of the things I want to do is put horns on a rat, which sounds weird, but what I was thinking about doing is cutting these horns off, kind of putting them on the back of the head.
That'd be cool.
And I need some sculpting putty for that. I don't want to just glue them on there, because then it looks really goofy.
Yeah, just make sure you put something in to support it. Usually a paper clip works really well. You want to drill a hole in the horn, drill a hole in the head, and attach it with something. I've even, if depending on the size of the part that you're trying to attach, a lot of times I've used like extra spears that I have for Mythic Legion, and I just cut pieces of plastic off of there and use that as a peg. So like these feet, when I did them, you can actually see in the bottom here, I've got 2 pieces of spears that I used to connect those 2 feet. And then I put the sculpting material around that. So
I would think the spears hold better structure support.
What's that?
I would think that the spears hold more support.
Oh yeah. If you've got enough room and you can use the spear, I would highly recommend it. But for tiny pieces, like when I did this hair, I did the paper clip method because I can't fit a spear in there. But but if you've got enough room, those things work really well. And if you're like me, you got about 1 million spears just laying around. So we've got Carlo in here. What's up, Carlo?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Carlo.
How you doing?
Good. You?
Good. Did the microphone thing?
Right now, we appear to be good. As of Friday, it seemed like it was fixed. Now, it is StreamYard, so they could screw it up at any minute. But as of right now, it seems to be okay.
Okay, sweet. I don't know if we're at where we're working on today. Let me embiggen you. We printed these stalactites and or stalagmites up. I got no light over here, but we're going to use these for the mine cart so they can kind of duck them or dodge them. And I have a little magnet port on the back, so we're going to try to make them to be modular. Coming up for this next con, we got Motu Fest. We're going to have purple ones and green ones for Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So
very cool.
So we're doing
how did StatueCon go?
It went really cool. We met a lot of cool people. Got a lot of information about the industry and kind of what people are looking at. And our statues, they said they look, legit. So that was pretty much what we were going to see if we were just kind of over our heads or whatnot with the skill level or not. And everybody said they look good. So a couple guys asked if we had them for a pre-order because they're always used to pre-ordering statues. I'm like, yeah, we're not there yet. We're just 2 guys making statues, 3D.
Well, that's good that people are interested.
Yeah, they're all into the polystone stuff. So that's basically resin mixed with some like calcium powder or something like that. And so like as far as the 3D printed stuff, I don't know if that community is technically into it, but you gotta do that first before you can look into, I guess like some of them statues, we buy them for like $600 to $1,000. Some of them, some of them take that much to actually produce. So it's like the profit margin for those things, doesn't seem like it's that big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Especially
can imagine.
for all that IP rights and whatnot. So like, that's not even something that you can consider.
Yeah.
As a smaller company, so we just have our original characters and stuff. We also looked into we talked to some of the guys that make their stuff out of PVC. So PVC is what the Legion's figures are made out of, but just statues out of PVC seem to do good in like other countries and stuff. So that's also something that we might look into eventually.
That's cool.
On the screen right now, this is kind of what I got for my
bigging you again.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's the same size whether I'm bigging you or not. So I guess we'll just do this.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I'm looking to a roof, and our 3D printer has 10-inch by 10-inch build space, but I got a buddy at church that can do 16 by 16, so I'm gonna make a 10 by 10, and then I'm gonna send him a 16 by 16 and see what he can print up. So
very cool.
Different scales, yeah.
So I use this liquid UV, which is or liquid UV resin. It's not the easiest stuff to use, and now I'm just using a UV light to kind of harden that. So
sweet. Yeah, I was going to do that for the eye of that statue I did, and I didn't get around to actually getting it. We have the resin, we have the UV, so like her eye was a little flat, but I've seen a lot of the statue videos, they put a little drop in there to give it that little ball shape. You know how your eye isn't this perfect sphere. It's got that little ellipse on the end. So
right.
I guess that draws it in, makes it more look realistic.
Yeah, the problem with using this stuff is it's like trying to sculpt with honey. Like that's the consistency of it. It's like not, it sticks to the stuff you don't want it to stick to, and it trying to get it where you want it to go and look detailed is not the easiest. Cincy John says, I was late and I'm sure I missed it. Where did you get those wings? So this is, let me embiggen myself. So this is one of multiple different sets of wings that Arthas is going to have at Legions Con. He's got some 2.0 ones. He's got some 1.0 ones. He's got some that are like double sets of wings, some that are outstretched, some that are folded. He's going to have some that are painted, some that are unpainted. So yeah, Arthas's table at Legions Con is where those will be. But this is kind of, like I said, this was kind of a test first print of the 1.0 stuff. So let me install myself, and then we've got Michael joining us as well as Jay. Welcome, guys.
Hey, what is going on?
What's up, guys?
Freak says, trying to get my kids to play nice together, but they just keep fighting. Would rather be painting right now. Youngest hit the oldest with Imaginext SpongeBob play set. Wow.
An entire play set?
Yeah. Ouch. All right. Well, let's see. Let's go to Jay first. With Jay, what you got going on today?
So, moments ago, an entire bottle of speed paint exploded on me.
Oh, that's fun.
I have that going on. Literally from my forehead to my ankle.
Nice.
So that sucked. I'm working on these more of the Pride shields.
Oh, that one's nice. I like that. The blue to the purple.
That's the bisexual shield. That's the fucking phone. And then this is what you sent me this. I couldn't really get the kind of try to trace it after I painted the layer on. I'm a little flustered, but I have a bunch of these that I'm working on. I'm going to try to work on this elephant. I gotta work on, so it's black and white. I'm gonna work on highlighting just like the white parts, so that when I don't know if I'm I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but the white parts need to be whiter first. And I have another similar figure that I'm working on. That's the body is going to be ingredients that are neon. So I have to go back and like do some like going into the recesses. And it's other stuff, but it's drying now.
Okay. Let's go over to Michael. Michael, what you got going on?
Hey, first off, keep on going with those weapons because they were a hit at CarverCon. Am I right in saying that? Jay?
I think he had to walk off because he's covered in speed paint. But yeah, it did seem like his weapons and shields and stuff were very popular at Carver.
In fact, I think you, Curtis, got scaphoid ones.
I did. I got 2 of the bone blades for scaphoid, which are fantastic.
Hey, I'm sorry, I just stepped away.
We were just talking about your weapons. Keep on going with those because those are really good, and it seemed like they were a hit at CarverCon.
Yeah, no, I'm making a ton of them. Most of them are drying, but I made a bunch of them last night. Thank you.
Nice. And those Pride weapons could do really well because they have a big Pride right around CarverCon time. My nephew was at the con this year. I don't know if any of you guys saw him, but he is indeed gay. And just I think the week before in Columbus is the big Pride parade or the big festivities.
Oh wow, because that's I guess that makes sense because it's the end of June.
Yeah.
July.
July. Yeah.
No, June. You're right. Wait, was it in June or July?
June is Pride Month. So
okay.
It's the first week. The CarverCon was the first week of July.
Yeah. So
gotcha.
Yeah. What am I working on? I am on to a new custom. So I'm attempting. It shouldn't be that difficult, I wouldn't think. Making a character from when I was a kid that I loved. I wasn't big into video games, but Mortal Kombat was always a big game for people. I wasn't a Mortal Kombat fan. I was a Killer Instinct fan. So I am working on a Spinal from Killer Instinct, and hopefully I can, with the right parts that come out, I can get a Saberwolf at some point in time. So
now, I don't know that property. Was that another fighting game?
Oh yeah, fighting game. Yeah.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I played that a lot, Mike.
Yeah. So
the robot guy wasn't my favorite.
Fulgor, I think, and then Galatius. They were all. I thought those characters destroyed Mortal Kombat.
Maybe it was an Ohio thing. I don't remember hearing about that here.
I never heard of that either. But
Killer Instinct was awesome.
Was that Super Nintendo?
It was Killer Instinct Gold was Nintendo 64, so I think it was a Nintendo thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Midway, was it Midway, Carlo?
No, Midway's Mortal Kombat for sure.
Okay, so
I think Mortal Kombat's a claim.
No, I don't know.
Fight.
I'm gonna clip this so that we all look like idiots. We don't know what we're talking about.
I did not play. I didn't play a lot of fighting games.
I don't know.
Video games from like Nintendo until PlayStation 1.
So my challenges are I have to use a Skeleton Legion Builder 2. Spinal was white for his early generation. And I'm going to have to figure out the waist piece with using the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. But for his headband,
that looks awesome.
I simply, if we can go like that, I used, that is a Mythic Legion's Black Knight belt.
Oh, nice. Smart.
And I glued it on, and trying to get this for you, where the belt comes together to hold weapon, that's that piece right there. So I did that, painted that up, and kind of spread it apart, and that created that effect. And then I'm on the bracers now. So for the bracers, God, if I can get that in there, if I can get it off, that's simply, and I'm doing a horrible job at this, but let's see. That is simply two bracers that are glued together from the Skeleton Raider. But
nice.
Of course, I had to cut off the straps off of one. So, and that gives you a pretty good spinal look for the bracers. After this, I'll go on to the weapons, his shield, and his sword. I'll have to paint those up. Of course, the sword is right there. I still have to decide on a shield, and then it's on to the hard part, which would be the hip part, the rowing armor, the waist armor. So yeah, I'll get him there. He'll get there, and he looks pretty good right now. Each part I do on him, he looks more and more like the character. So
that headband looked awesome. Like that, you're gonna have to do some like Rambo and Commando customs and stuff with that.
Yeah. It really works out well. And the skeleton, his headband's red. So the skeleton or the knight, the Black Knight has a red one. Now, when you cut it, you create areas where you have to still paint. And Vallejo flat red, perfect match.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. We did have a few more folks jump in with us. Pickle D is here. Good morning. MJ says, Carla, did you ever buy brush sets for ZBrush? Curious if it's legit.
Tristan has bought brush packs. I have always just tended to stay with the basics. But a lot of what I do is I add these alphas, and pretty much the brush sets are just alphas that people like on the screen. I don't know if you see it, or alphas that people use, and they tweak the brush settings as it is. But Tristan has a couple really cool things that he did for his skeleton heads that he did. Like a lot of good cracks and stuff into them, and they have one I think that he used for like suction cups for like octopus. So they're definitely like legit. They're definitely like, they're just not in my workflow.
Gotcha.
Which eventually I probably will mess with it. But
before I read the ZBrush part, I thought he was promoting somebody else's paintbrush sets on here. I was getting ready to kick him out.
Yeah, I got both sets. both the Ackerman sets.
Pickle D said, "Oh, not morning anymore." It depends where you are. West Coast folks are still in the morning. So, let's see. Oh, Freak said that he thought that Michael was going to say he's working on an Orko.
Oh no, never, ever.
Cincy John says Killer Instinct had a graphic advantage back in the Pixel days.
What does that mean? A graphic advantage? It doesn't sound
I'm not
right.
sure because I thought they were both 16-bit. So, Cincy John says Mortal Kombat was Midway. I stared at that cabinet a lot in my younger days. So, Freaks Figure says the NECA TMNT movie Foot Clan bracers work very well on skeletons. So, just FYI.
I'm pretty sure that Killer Instinct was Midway too. So I don't know what they had going on there because one of my photos, my reference photos for Spinal and Saberwolf have the Midway logo on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They were just cornering the market.
They might have been.
Well, yeah, the other one was Capcom. So they had the other fighting game.
Yeah, the Street Fighter.
Well, Midway could have started out, with Mortal Kombat, and they learned some stuff, and then they got to the big boys, the Killer Instinct.
Gotcha. Which apparently was only big in Ohio.
Well, that's all you need it to be big in. That's really all you need.
Gotcha.
Hey, Carlo?
Yeah.
Do you know which college football team is ranked number 1 going into the season? You really don't have to think about this.
I would think it's not Michigan.
No, God, no. Keep on going. You'll get there eventually.
I'm
Notre Dame.
just shooting the dark. Ohio? State?
Not Ohio. No. Oh, Ohio State. Yes, the Buckeyes, number 1.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think what you meant to say was the Ohio State.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. Yes.
Yeah.
See, Curtis, you got it going on, dude. You know.
Yeah, you got to show the proper respect, Mike.
Yes. That was my fault. I'm so OH.
IO.
Yeah.
I mean, I may have only spent a couple years there, but I was born in Ohio, so I still,
Curtis is one of the good guys.
Yes, he is. So
Once I went to Ohio.
I was born in a town that I've never been back to since, and I don't know that I've ever heard anybody even talk about.
What town?
Lima, Ohio.
Oh my God, I know
where my
Lima.
company's at.
I delivered there, Curtis.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it though.
Yeah, I don't ever hear, like, when I'm watching movies and they're in Ohio, it's like never does anybody mention Lima, Ohio. I'm like, I've never been there. I've never heard anything. I don't even know. It may just be a hospital. That's it. Like, as far as I know, that's all that's there.
I think if you're gonna use a town in a movie, Lima is not very catchy. If it sounds like a bean that most people don't want to eat, it's probably not.
Well, and I used to spend every summer in Ohio visiting my grandparents, and I've been there, driven through there, been there for conventions, things like that, and I've never once been back to Lima, Ohio. So
you
I
might
have no idea what's there.
Go to CarverCon and then take a day after to see your old stomping grounds.
Well, I was just born there. I spent my first 3 years of life in Ohio City, Ohio.
Oh my God, that's just a suburb of Cleveland. With the market,
if you followed Ohio City with Ohio, just to make it clear.
It's like New York, only better.
Yeah, but you say New York City. You don't say New York, unless you're Frank Sinatra.
That's where St. Ignatius is and all that good jazz. The big parochial schools in Cleveland. And they have the farmers market. It's a good time up there. It's a nice area. It's western Cleveland, west of Cleveland. You can see the city.
My grandparents, one set of them lived in Rockford, Ohio, and then the other one lived in Ohio City. So kind of like right across the border from Indiana. We got all the Fort Wayne channels.
Tell me again, what state Ohio City's in?
Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know with Kansas City because the good one's actually in Missouri. So.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
But they got one in Kansas too.
They do, but it's
right next to each other.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, and like all the good stuff is in the Missouri side, and all the shit stuff is on the Kansas side.
Which side is the barbecue?
Well, that you can find that in both places, but
all right, good to know, I guess.
But like the sports teams and stuff, like the Chiefs, the Royals, any kind of good place that you want to visit in Kansas City is on the Missouri side.
Wherever George Brett is from or played, that's where I would go.
Yeah, that would be on the Missouri side.
As a child. I don't know why.
He played at Old Kauffman Stadium. Is that it?
I actually lived in Kansas City, Missouri, from 3 years old till 6 years old, and my dad would take us to baseball games at the Royals games because they were like so fucking dirt cheap because they were really terrible. And until I was like 7 or 8 years old, I thought that all baseball games only lasted 7 innings because that's when we left.
Oh God.
And we'd be in the parking lot, and I'd be like, "But I hear people cheering and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, they're just excited that the game's over."
Wanted to beat the crowd.
Yeah,
Mike, we left the Akron Zips game before the 5 minutes before the game ended every single time.
Oh wow!
The Rubber Bowl.
Oh, that old Rubber Bowl
on the way home, and there was a game that we left because the Mets were losing like by a lot, and they had like what stood up until I think the year 2021 as their biggest comeback win. It was like 9 runs or something, and we missed that entire thing. And my father was never allowed to leave a game early again. I lost my fucking mind.
I think we've all done that because I was up watching the Indians and they were getting blown away. And ironically, I think it was KC because we're in the same division. I'm an hour away from Cleveland.
Indians. I don't know what team you're talking about.
The Cleveland Indians?
That's not a team.
Oh, yes, it is. It'll always be a team. So I was coming home, and in the hour it took me to come home, they came back like 10 runs and won it in like the 10th or 11th inning.
I went to see the Mets in 2021. The thing is that that comeback thing was resolved karmically because that's not a word, but the biggest Mets comeback of all time was against the Braves. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was John Rocker, who was a closer for the Braves, who was like so dominant. And then he had said something like, New York City is filled with homosexuals. And that didn't go over very well. So the Mets destroyed. It was the first game that he got like wrecked the night before, if I believe remembering correct. So the day afterwards, that was the game that I went to, and the Mets were down, I think 12 runs, and they scored 14 in 1 inning to win the game, capped off by this Mike Piazza home run that was so fast out of the stadium. And it was like a bullet. It was amazing. And we were jumping up and down in the stands, hugging strangers. Like you would have thought that we won the World Series. But like I literally was hugging a fairly old man behind me, and then another person like in front, we were just in the aisles. It was amazing. Mets fans don't have a lot to celebrate, you know. That's why we always talk about 1986.
Did you ever hear about the Heidi game in New York?
I don't know.
It was before your time. It was like back in the late 60s, but it was a Jets Raiders game.
Oh,
and there was like a minute left to go in the game, and Jets were winning by like 3 points, and they cut away because they had Heidi scheduled to play on the TV, and they cut away, and the Raiders scored 2 touchdowns with a minute left and won the game. And the fans that were watching on TV were pissed.
That sounds about right. You know, fuck the Jets. They suck. Most Mets fans are also Jets fans. I am one of the few that is a Giants fan because my dad is from the Bronx and they have their own baseball team. But my dad was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan, I believe, because he thought Duke Snider had a cool name. He was really obsessed with Duke Snider, who's on the Brooklyn Dodgers. Back in the 50s, there were 3 great outfield center fielders. He was the 3rd best out of Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle. But my father was obsessed with him. So everybody who was a Brooklyn Dodgers or New York Giants fan, they didn't become Yankees fans. They just I guess I don't know who they rooted for, but eventually the Mets came, and that was an NL team, and they were awful, but everybody loved them. And even when the Yankees were good at the beginning in the '60s, the Mets were outselling them because they were called the lovable losers.
See, that's weird. My dad grew up in New York, and like everybody that I know from there, from like his family and stuff, if they're a Yankees fan, they also like the Jets.
Right.
And if they're a Mets fan, they also like the Giants.
Right. So my dad would have liked my dad should have liked the Yankees and the Giants. But because he just randomly chose an NL team, he liked the Giants. And also, I don't also know what the connection there is. I guess that they were playing in stadiums in the city that were closer to certain areas. I don't really know.
Well, for baseball, but I think for football, they've both played in New Jersey pretty much the whole time, haven't they?
I don't think so, because the Giants used to play the New York Giants played in a football stadium. And I think that might have been I don't know what team played there, but that famous catch, like the bucket catch by Willie Mays, that people always talk about, that he caught the ball running forward and not looking at it. You know what I'm talking about? So the reason that was such an amazing catch was not just because he wasn't looking at it. That was the deepest center field in the history of baseball, because it's a football stadium. So he had to run so far and so fast to get it to begin with. And that's why it's like this feat of athleticism that it's one of those things that I imagine if that was captured, the way that we have sports film now, it would be like really amazing.
Yeah.
And if you want me to transition to another thing randomly about baseball, do you know the reason that sports are filmed now when they actually focus on the player and different cameras rather than just one still camera? It's really interesting.
Why?
The first time was the Carlton Fisk home run that he like waved it over like this, and it's really iconic. The only reason they showed that on TV was because, and I know this, I read a book, I'm not just making this up. I really love books about like specific baseball seasons. I forget the name of the stadium. Whatever. The stadium.
What city? Or maybe like Boston, Fenway Park.
Fenway, thank you. I kept on thinking Wrigley. So Fenway Park was filled with rats.
Oh.
And because it had just rained. And so the cameraman who would have done the long shot, which is what they had always done, was gone. So they just wound up focusing on Fisk because they didn't know what to do. And that moment was so iconic that that's how baseball was filmed moving forward.
Interesting.
It's a really great book that I can't think of the name of that covered that. Fuck, what was the name of that? I don't know. I love a good nonfiction book about baseball.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, sports is cool. Sports is awesome.
I only like baseball, really.
Of course, people can't tuned in to watch like nerds painting, and they're like, "What is all this sports talk?"
Right.
Well, they can get some sport culture in their nerd life. I'm only part nerd.
There you go.
That's what we all say.
You never go full nerd.
I'm gonna embiggen myself for a second. So I've added some green stuff to these boots to kind of just smooth this transition here. I'll be doing some sanding and dremeling once all that hardens. I've added some extra hair to this skeleton. It's a little bit big right now. It's a little bit clumpy, but I'll be once again sanding that and dremeling it and make it look a little bit more natural. And then I added the resin to this. I still need to, I think, heat it up a little bit more with the UV light. And then so I'm probably going to be moving on to painting here for a second, but I just wanted to show off where I was at with the sculpting first.
I missed you introducing what those wings were.
These are one of the many wing sets that Arthas is going to have at Legion's Con. So he's got 1.0 sets, 2.0 sets. He's got some that are outstretched, some that are folded, some that are double wings. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Those are the ones from Planetary Dog Toys then, right?
I believe that Planetary is working on printing them for him. Yes.
Because I know they had some on their
but I
website.
think he's working with somebody else. I don't know who he's working on to get him sculpted.
Gotcha.
So
they have one. They do have a bunch. I have wings that I'm working on, but they're from Carlo.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Oh, Jay, that dragon was sweet, man.
No, thank you so much. I'm working on a bunch of different things that I got from you. The wings, I believe, are going to go on. I'm gonna do a cosmic House of the Noble Bear with the figures that I do have from that wave, and that's gonna go on Neve, whatever you call him, her.
Neve, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but
Oh yeah, because those are did we put those on? I don't know if I've even tried those on her yet.
So we got a little information on the whole Midway thing. Cincy John says Midway was just an arcade cabinet producer at the time. Most cabinets were Midway, so Midway was really more of the arcade part of it, and not necessarily who was making the game.
Gotcha.
And he also said I think there's a water park in Lima. So there you go.
There is.
That's what he said.
Well, I looked it up. Killer Instinct is made by Rareware, the same people who did Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Country.
Interesting.
Hard to say. Rareware.
Yeah, I always had to be Spinal because I love skeletons.
The thing about that game was, I believe all of those models that they made in the video game were like clay. And they kind of like in Mortal Kombat, how Goro was a clay model that they animated. So I believe like those characters in Killer Instinct had a claymation vibe to them. And I'm sure they did, post processing over top of them.
Yeah, they're just for fun.
I think they did like a newer version of Killer Instinct in one of the years.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a updated version of Spinal once we get I need the skeletal kneecaps, and I'm going to in standard bone color.
Mm-hmm.
Once that comes out and his pirate boots and all that, they have an updated version of him I'm gonna do. So that what do those come out? Oh, okay, the game. End of the year. What Rick? Is his name Rick? That skeleton vampire or whatever?
Yeah.
That had the kneecaps. Yep. That's what I'm gonna do there. And the updated version of Spinal is really cool. He looks like a pirate, and has like a ship's wheel on his back. He has a bunch of rope strung around him.
Nice.
But I won't do a custom unless it's mythic part. So I have to figure out, because when I make a character, I want them to be that character, what that character would look like in Mythos, not necessarily an exact copy of the character.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's for the most part kind of what Emil does. Obviously he does some chopping of parts and mixing and matching, and occasionally he'll use like a 3D printed head if it's something that he sculpted. But I do think that that's cool. It's not like, because like I'll see somebody you do like, and this is no insult to anybody that does this, but like they'll do like a Skeletor custom, right? And then they'll use like a head from an actual like Mattel Skeletor figure, or like the armor from it or something. And it's like, it still looks cool, but it's like that, it's not really the Mythos version like you're talking about, Mike.
Yeah, I have to use, and like the bracers I'm working on right now, I could have probably went to another toy line and got the bracers, but that's not Mythos. It's not Mythic Legions, where this thing right here is, but I had to do cutting. I had to do gluing in order to get the look.
Yeah.
I just crashed ZBrush.
Oh boy.
I used to use a lot of other
Hopefully you were saving.
I was not saving.
Oh no.
Oh no. How much did you lose?
However long I've been on the show.
Okay, well that isn't too bad, I would think.
No, I got.
If there's anything we've learned from watching Carlos sculpt on Customizing Studio, it's always save your work.
Well, the thing is you save before you run a Boolean operation when you have them at high polygon count. So you take the one object and you stick it to the other one, and then you make it one solid mesh. But that takes a lot of calculating. So
all the words that you just said, I didn't understand. So, just
everything
FYI.
was like,
you
blah,
take
blah,
the one
blah,
part.
Boolean count, this and that, and I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
You take this object. You take this object. Watch. This is it. You take this object and you stick them together, and then you tell the computer to make them one solid object. And when that happens, it likes to crash. So
what does that have to do with Boolean cubes? What is?
It tastes real good when you put them in soup.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's soup.
He's like, yeah, when you take the flux capacitor and you add the Huji what, and okay, sounds good, man.
So I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was talking about that movie. So if you would have a time machine and go back in time and go to the exact place you wanted to go, you would never go to that exact place because the Earth is moving through space.
Yeah, you'd basically die.
You would be out in space. You'd have to wait a whole year for the Earth to be back, and then you don't know if it's on the exact same rotation. You could be on the other side of the Earth. It would never work.
Miss up by a few inches. You're
calculate
inside
that,
the Earth.
Though, if it's the past, and you know where the Earth was.
Well, do you know the exact?
But unless your time machine was also a spaceship, you'd have to leave.
But I mean, it's a fucking time machine. Why can't it also be a spaceship? I mean,
it could be
more realistic than the other, and that's a spaceship.
It could be.
I feel the issue with that is you're basing it on physics and not on magic.
Yeah,
based it on magic, no problem.
A magic time machine. That's the way to go. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
magic of Hollywood. Also, nobody's allowed to ruin that movie for me. People have tried. Doesn't work. That's a perfect movie. No movie is ever
it's a wonderful movie.
That is better than that movie.
Wonderful movie. And the sequels aren't bad.
No, but this Back to the Future 2 is better than Back to the Future 1.
Two is really good. Three kind of sucks.
Dude, 3 is Jenny's favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people say that. I don't think 3 is fine. Like, I don't know if it's the best. I can see that somebody would love it though. There's a lot of good things about 3. I think it gets more of a bad rap than it needs to.
I was so mad at the theater.
Star Wars movie. Sometimes the second movie is the best one because the second movie ends on a cliffhanger that kind of sucks, and that makes it more interesting.
I think Rocky 2 is better than Rocky 1.
Yeah,
I like Rocky 4. Rocky
4 is good if you need a workout.
Which one has
Right.
Apollo? Which one has Ivan Drago?
That's 4.
Yeah.
We don't talk about
if you want to
Rocky
work
V.
out, 4 is awesome. It's got the music and the training in Russia and stuff. Yeah.
Do you know
4
what
is
I
great
don't
for
really
that.
like that much? The Rocky movies. So I don't even know. 4 was just always on HBO when I was a kid.
Because they had He-Man in it.
That's true.
He-Man, ironically, was not on HBO that much.
Well, I wonder why, because it was the most horrible movie ever made.
And HBO only showed good movies in the 80s. So, that rationale does stand. I think most of the movies I saw as a child were because they were on HBO. And, that's why I know so many bad movies.
I don't know, man. HBO did show Monster Squad, and that thing's kick ass.
Well, they showed a lot of good movies. Also, like Paramedics, which was a weird, like, sort of like Porky's like style movie, but about like guys who worked in like emergency ambulances. But it was like that weird like 80s like sexual like humor. That was nobody's ever heard of that movie. It was on HBO all the time.
What is it called?
First time I saw boobs in a movie.
What's it called?
HBO.
I think it's called Paramedics. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I could look it up.
Paramedic movie I remember.
Jesse says Superman 2 and Star Trek 2 as well, better than the first one. Yeah, I agree with those as well.
I like Star Trek Whales. I don't know which one that is, but it's got the whales.
That's 4.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, all the even number Star Trek movies are really good. The odd ones are shit.
That's interesting.
All I know is I watched the first one, and I would never see another Star Trek movie again because I'm sitting through the whole movie waiting for like aliens and fucking cool space shit, and it's a fucking satellite at the end, and they can go kiss my ass. What a waste of 2 fucking hours.
Is that the one where they're trying to find God?
I don't know. It's the very first one. First Star Trek movie.
It's the one where they're going after V'ger, and they turn out that it's just like an old ship called Voyager that like some of the letters were missing off of it, and it's just it's kind of dumb. But I'm surprised that Mike wouldn't give another one a chance because he's usually so even tempered about that kind of thing.
No. Fuck Star Trek.
He's usually so willing to give things a chance.
You know me so well.
I think 4 is the only Star Trek movie I've ever seen. And then whatever, like the TV shows, but like that was just kind of like me channel surfing and then stopping on something because that was all that was on.
Now, didn't in 2 they introduced like the Klingons and shit? Like the cool aliens and shit?
No, 2 is Wrath of Khan.
Okay, so they didn't. Okay.
No, the Klingons and shit was in 3. I mean, I guess they kind of maybe touch on it a little bit. No, I don't think so. I think it's all 3.
Okay.
But the best one with Klingons was Undiscovered Country. What's that?
Who the fuck was Khan?
Khan?
He wasn't an alien?
He was the son. He was the son that died first in The Godfather.
Yeah, it's Ricardo Montalban. He was in the original series, and he's from in the Star Trek world.
Yeah.
There was like a time period where they engineered humans to have like super strength and speed and stuff, and he was one of these genetically engineered people. So he was stronger and faster and everything than everybody else. And so he was in the series. He was like one of the most iconic guys in the TV series, and he shows up in 2, which is Wrath of Khan, and it's widely agreed that it's probably the best Star Trek movie that has ever been made. it's pretty freaking awesome.
You know, I just feel like my James Caan joke really went like underappreciated.
Yeah, it was close, but yeah. No.
I can't find
but yeah, the Wrath of Khan is badass.
The worm scene creeped me out.
You know my favorite.
Oh gosh. Yeah, them putting those bugs in their ears like always freaked me out. I did not like that.
My favorite movie about space is childhood. And the primary reason that I'm missing a lot of pop culture references from the 80s is Spaceballs, because my father taped it. And it's all I watched when I came home from school for almost a year. Like I literally came home and watched Spaceballs every day.
Then you should be happy with what's coming out here.
I am very happy, although it's a little weird to me. I don't know. Mel Brooks is very old to be making relevant jokes about space movies, but I mean, the guy's a genius, so who knows?
Yeah, he filmed that when he was what, 99 or something, because he's 100 now.
I guess so. Yeah, that guy, man. God bless him.
Yeah,
just for like what he's done for the history of comedy.
Oh yeah, he was awesome, or is. He's not gone yet,
which is wild, but good for him.
Yes, very. I mean, God, I would love to live to 100. Won't happen because as soon as I kick the bucket, the Browns will win the Super Bowl. They'll have to wait till I'm gone, though, because that's fate. That's my destiny to like a fucking loser team for my whole existence.
Well, yeah, dude, I'm a Mets fan, so I get it. I'm a Knicks fan, and that was terrible for my whole life, until this year. And you know, I never thought this would happen, and I'm kind of old for it to suddenly happen. So when I say my whole life, I mean it's been almost 50 years, ish, a little bit less than that. I just made myself sound a lot older than I am. Closer to the 40 side.
I just turned 25.
I mean, I've not mentally grown.
Damn, you retired at 25?
Dude, I worked hard for 5 years.
I just haven't matured since I was 25.
Isn't it so nice being able to play around with toys, to enjoy a hobby like this and have people look down upon you, but knowing that they probably deep down inside are envious? Like,
yeah,
God,
I wasn't playing with toys, though.
What's that?
I was collecting records and going to concerts. But I didn't know. I didn't know that I can paint, and sometimes I bought collectibles, but I didn't get that into it. I think I just knew kind of that I wanted to be buying more stuff like that, and just didn't. Which I probably has a little bit to do with my ex-wife and what I was allowed to display in the house.
No, you have to make compromises when you're married, so it's worth it. If you want to be married. Yeah.
I mean, right, we're not married, but sorry. So this is a possible head I have for this. I mean, the light is just bad. I don't know if it's going to be visible.
I just lost power. That sucks.
Is there a storm out there?
Oh, God. Is there ever? I better go check this out.
Yeah, we got a storm out here. Was that my thunder you heard?
My impression of Ohio, having driven there once in my life, is that you always have storms.
That's fair.
Not one now. Must have hit a transformer. Guess I'll go call the power company.
Oh, did you go black, Mike?
Yeah, I got no power. I got nothing. Okay, guys, I'll be back.
All right.
Okay, bye.
So, yep. I know in one of the 3 years that I was living in Ohio, in 78, there was a huge blizzard. And I know my mom tells stories about like how we could not get out of our house for like a week. It was like crazy.
Do you know something really interesting about that blizzard?
What's that?
It also took place in New York, right? It was the blizzard it was December, right?
I guess so, yeah.
It was a huge blizzard all over the I guess the most of the country. I was born in the middle of it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And it was really rough for my parents because they couldn't get shit. Like that was when they were discharged from the hospital and they couldn't keep them there to keep them like, I guess, safe or whatever, because there were so many people, so that like they could not buy a single thing. That was, my father had driven around in the blizzard apparently for like hours to find one drugstore that was open.
You know, it'd be a cooler story is if you were conceived during the blizzard.
Probably. I like to think that being born during the blizzard is also cool, though.
It is cool.
I think that that's what gave me the powers that I have.
I'm sure your parents would have had more fun with the other, though.
Maybe. Probably.
Do you guys see my screen right here? All I see are little states. I'm just drawing little states. Like I got Ohio in there. I got Texas in there. I got Africa over here, lower part.
I thought you said steaks, and I was like, that doesn't look like a steak that I've seen.
I wonder if Treadaway does that, like in Bodvar, if there's like little countries and stuff.
I missed it when you said what you were working on today.
Me?
Yeah.
Tiles, like dungeon tiles.
Oh, cool.
I figured for the mythic encounters, people could get them and blow them up. Didn't really see anybody talking about doing them yet, so I figured maybe I'd be early on something. But it's also going to go with the minecart. So I'm going to do this tile, basic tile, and then I'm going to do some where I put this stalactite on top of it. So we'll have stalactite tiles. And when
Are you talking about like stands?
Yeah, they could be stands. Yeah. Okay. They could be I was actually talking to this about a guy earlier. We're trying to figure out whether I do like a metal peg through it so they go up in the foot of the characters. I don't know if I could 3D print a peg that's stable enough that I could trust to not break.
Can you leave a hole for a peg?
I can just cut a hole in the peg. Yeah. So but really like for the how they flip the mat over when they go to the mythic encounters. So I figured we do a bunch of these little squares. They'll work for the minecart, and if people don't want the minecart or whatever, it'd just be a diorama. And then so we're gonna make them for Motu Fest in purple and green for Grayskull. Like it's the underneath. A couple of the episodes they showed like underneath Grayskull or underneath Snake Mountain. So I'm gonna make those spikes purple and green. So I figure that would go good for that Motu Fest.
Wait, you're gonna have stalactites coming up from the bottom?
Stalagmites from the bottom, stalactites from the top, and there's columns where they meet in the middle. I have that one sculpted.
I was going to correct you because I thought you'd said it the other way around.
I probably did.
I remember. I don't know a lot about stuff like that, but that is like the one thing I can remember from Earth Science.
So it's stalactites hold tight to the ceiling,
and stalagmites
might connect, and then when they do connect, it's something else. I don't really remember the name, but
I don't fucking know. I don't remember that was a thing.
We went to this underground.
What are you working on?
I am working on a Battle Sister, a McFarlane Battle Sister.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the silicone mat doesn't really show the color, but it's like a teal with a sky blue metallic on it.
Okay. The teal I could see. I guess I can see the sky blue now.
Well, these are the colors if it helps.
I'm looking for it. Which teal is that? Thunderbolt?
Thunderous blue. Or Thunderbird blue.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love war paints. I've gotten really, really into them recently. Until the bottle of speed paint exploded all over my entire body. Although speed paint is different than using regular war paints. But war paint, I think, has really great word I can't ever remember the name of.
Pigment.
Thank you. Oh, you remember. It's been that many times, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's that their pigment is amazing. Like Vallejo also has really great pigment. But that's like the most important thing for me, and that's the reason that there are some brands that people really like that I don't really use as much.
SoFlat's the best, but
for pigment,
oh yeah, gosh,
I mean, yes. SoFlat's really good for pigment.
I actually so I've got, I think I showed these off. I got like these 4-tiered ones to hold my paint, and then I just got this one, which is a 6-tier one for all my contrast.
Okay.
But that allowed me to empty out a bunch of space here, so I was able to order a bunch more SoFlat paint, which I'm excited for because there was a bunch of colors that I did not have, and so now I can get more of those colors.
I like their pigment a lot. They just are limited in the amount of colors that they have. So
I was thinking that, and then I love that Citadel, which is now Warhammer or whatever. They've got an app that you can put on your phone.
Yeah,
where
I love the app.
I love their app. So for those that don't know, actually, I'll just pull it up here and show it. Their app is fucking amazing. So
their app, that's how I learned to paint. Was just their app.
So I just love this. Like, you can go to projects here and then inventory and wish list, and they've got all of their paints listed.
Yeah.
Right. And you can search for it. So like you can type at the top, like if you're looking for a certain color or whatever. And they've got 2 little things over here. One is for your inventory, and the other button is for your wish list. So you can go on here, and I could say like, hey, my Agrax Earthshade is running low. I can put the little heart next to it. And then when I go to the store, I just hit my wish list, and everything that's in my wish list pulls up, and I don't have to try to remember what the fuck I need to get.
But have you ever looked at the paint by color section?
Yes. That's cool too.
That's how I learned to paint. Because like if you choose, I have mine up too. So
what
I have mine up. Although if you
hold on. Let me go to you.
So when I started painting, I had a friend who's like a big Warhammer guy. So this is not the right part. I hit the wrong button. Hold up. So if you go about to the bottom to paint, and I don't remember what colors I was using a lot at that time, but like I'm just choosing like pale pink, right? So it gives you all of the steps. So it's what I don't know if you can even see this. It's so annoying, right? Nobody can see that. Hold on.
Yeah, you might have to turn the brightness down a little bit. There you go.
Yeah. Hold on. So it shows the base to use, and then like the spray to use, and then this one it starts with a shade for some reason, and then the base coat, so the layer, and then another layer, and you see like that's how I got into doing detail and edge highlighting and highlighting in general versus just like leaving it as a base coat. And so like here, one example is dark pink.
Mm-hmm.
So that's dark pink, and you start with black, and then you use screamer pink, and like what shade to use, and then what layer to use, and they show as it progresses. But if you like using contrast paints, there's also dark paint using contrast paints, and it shows you how to do that, which I think is really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I got into SoFlat, Sherry from the studio, she was doing a G-Con. She recommended SoFlat, like I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago. And when I started getting it because she had recommended it, they only had like 12 colors. So when I was making room here, I went to go like do something similar to what I was talking about with the Citadel app, but like make it myself. So I just created a sheet in Google Sheets and listed out all of their colors and then which ones I had and which ones I wanted. So very similar to what I was just showing there. And now they've got 60 different colors. So what was, when I first got in, they had like a dozen colors. Now they do have, it's not near as much as like a Vallejo or a Citadel or something that's been around for forever. But 60 colors is still pretty good.
That's a lot.
Pretty good array of colors.
How many colors do you really need? Right.
Exactly.
And that stuff like Vallejo has so many colors and Citadel has so many colors is because you get these tiny, variants in colors to do like basing and layering and all that stuff. Cause that's part of like the Citadel method. And that's what people do with, you do something like that more with miniatures because you really need to show contrast because it's so small.
The other thing with with, when I made the switch to SoFlat, because there were so few colors, it made me have to learn how to mix colors.
Right. I know.
Which
is
was
one
good.
of the reasons I thought they didn't have that many colors. Between that and what I see at the inventory in Michael's, I just made that assumption.
Yeah, it like makes you learn how to mix, which is a good thing. Like, because there's certain times where you just can't find the color that you're looking for, and so you have to make it. So
yeah, so I have a color wheel because you told me to get one. Oh, well, you didn't say it to get one, but you were saying how you do that, and I was like, I should get a color wheel. And I was at Michael's and I bought one. I never used it, but I should. But one of the things I really like about war paints is I like the pigment on their like colors that are more in the synthwave sort of, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but they also have, and it's right on the bottle instead of needing an app. I don't know if this can be, see again, it's just like my lighting is bad.
Yeah.
So do you see there's like that section there? So this is the magentas, and this is Diabolic Plum, which is like one of the key in the wave of synthwave paints that you would use. Is
there like in that spectrum?
Pink? Yeah, it's in that spectrum. So that's the darkest, and then that is the magentas. I thought I had another magenta in my hand, but I don't. But this is Wicked Pink, which is in the pinks, and this is the darkest pink.
Well, and that's helpful for us too, because we're also on the spectrum.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I have problems that are not being on the spectrum, but it's probably not that different. My behavior would, be hard to tell. But Wicked Pink, I've tried. Pink and magenta. Really, magenta is like my favorite color, and it's not very easy to find a magenta that's really great, and also doesn't have a weird consistency. Like one of the best ordered
one of the ones that I just ordered from SoFlat is a magenta, and I'm waiting to see what it looks like when I get it in hand, but on screen it looks awesome.
Quadripridone?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know what that word is, but it a lot of their paints have that before it, and I don't understand what that means. You need to look it up. It's good. It's great. I really like it. It's dark though. It's very dark, but it is one of my favorite magentas now that I have it, because it is also it has the same consistency as all SoFlat paints.
I ordered the quinacridone magenta and the quinacridone. Man, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
Quinacridone red. So I ordered the red and the magenta.
They also have that same. They also have quinacridone whatever in blue. So what is it? Like maybe it means it's a little bit dark.
And then I got the light magenta, which is really more like a pink.
Yep, I've never
bought it. It's a really good looking pink.
The hell was I going to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. A lot of the great. So Vallejo magenta is really great, but it doesn't have a great consistency, I don't think. Aside from the issue with the wet palette, it just in general the consistency is a little bit weird, even if you're using on a dry palette. And then one of my favorites is and a brand that not a lot of people use, which is AK magenta and AK laser magenta, which is dark. They're amazing, but it's got that goopiness that some like fluorescents have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate, but that it's kind of a pain in the ass. But
the only thing AK I've used is their markers, and they sucked.
That's unfortunate. I want to try their contrast paint line. They have great pigments, but they're just all of their paints are just kind of goopy, I think. But War Paints, their Spellbound Fuchsia and their Wicked Pink are amazing.
New to Mythics came in and said, "I love the last two customs that you posted, Jay."
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
I thought they were good. I felt like you maybe took a shot at some people's inability to see. And I didn't think that was right, but
I mean, I didn't use a name. But I'm just not using a name is really just copying someone's style too. So
then Terrence asked where the wings came from. It seems like a lot of people are interested in these wings. So there's like multiple sets that Arthas is going to have at Legions Con. This is one of them. So he's got some for 2.0, some for 1.0, some that are outstretched, some that are folded over. So he wanted me to paint these up and, kind of help like spread the word about this. So yeah, I'm working on these. And this was like an early prototype. So I'm kind of making some adjustments to this. But yeah, they look really amazing. The level of detail in here, like if you look at those feathers, there's just a lot of great detail. Like if you're somebody new to painting, just dry brushing this alone, like I haven't really painted this yet. This is really just black with a white dry brush. I still want to do a lot more to this, but even just this, like if you just want to paint the like prime on black and then do some white dry brushing, it looks fantastic just like this. So but yeah, Arthas will have those at Legions Con in several different varieties. So and then Terrence came in and said, I used to use a color wheel when I taught junior high students. Very helpful to understand contrast and shadows like orange, blue, green, red, purple, yellow. Yeah, it's super helpful when you're doing skin tones. And like if you look at it, you're like, oh, this looks a little too orange, right? Well, how do I get orange out? Well, you go across from the color wheel and you go, oh, well, that's blue. So like I wouldn't think to add blue to a skin tone, but by adding a little bit of blue, it takes that orange out. Yeah, it's just stuff like that. So that's where a color wheel can definitely come in handy.
I don't paint. So the one thing I almost
skin tones are difficult, especially Caucasian skin tones. They're the hardest.
I don't remember the last time that I made a white person. I'm just going to say it like blatantly like that because it is very difficult. There are so many different paint options and none of them look human.
Yeah.
To me, they don't. And I also like making creatures more anyhow, but I find that Caucasian flesh is just kind of brutal. And I guess I should probably do more mixing, clearly, but I don't know. I
will say that I got into some Pro-Acryl stuff. And for skin tones, they have some of the best skin tone paints. Their skin tone paints are fantastic.
Interesting. Somebody told me that about two thin coats, and I would beg to differ, but maybe it's just me. I'm not mixing them or not using the right ones.
They've got because when Wolf King started carrying Pro-Acryl, Len wanted me to just test out some of them, and so he asked like what kind of stuff I wanted. So I asked him to send me some skin tone stuff. He sent me this advanced flesh tone, tan flesh, and flesh wash. And if you use this one, put this wash on it, and then do some of this lightly over it, like in some areas like that you would want to highlight, like just those three paints alone will give you a great Caucasian flesh tone head. Wow. So that it's really good, and that's no mixing other colors or anything like that. So
see, the thing about using Citadel's flesh tones is it's when you do it on a larger face, it looks very stylized because again, like it's for miniatures, so there's so much contrast in the way that like their method works that you have such dark shading and such bright highlights that like if you want something stylized, it looks super cool. But their black skin tone is great though. I use that all the time. It's like 3 paints that I use. I don't even use their shade.
I found
just dry brush up from actual black.
I found a tutorial which I'll post it in our YouTube chat, but from JCM Custom Paints, which by the way, if anybody's not following him on Instagram, his stuff is fantastic. Recently he's worked into more like makeup and stuff, like sci-fi makeup stuff. Oh, yeah. But he was doing mostly like miniatures and repaints of figures and stuff. Anyway, he had a tutorial on doing dark skin tones, and he was doing it on like a Michael Jordan head, and it's a fantastic tutorial. It's like 5-6 steps, and that's all I've ever used. It's so good. And the main color that it uses is Mornfang Brown from Citadel, which is like my absolute favorite brown.
That's interesting because they actually have like a flesh tone. Like there's, I don't know, I have them here somewhere.
Yeah, it's like
it's not Mornfang Brown though.
That's flesh, and they've got some. Yeah, but the Mornfang Brown just works so good.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I asked Perry what he uses for melanated skin tones, and he went with Mornfang Brown. So
yeah, I use Caption Flesh and Thondi. Wait, no, I don't know what the hell the other one is. Just put it down. Blood Reaver. But I'm not saying that is the way to go. It's not always, some of them, it doesn't always come out great, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm going to post this in our chat, but I'm telling you guys, if you use this, you're probably not going to do dark skin tones any other way ever again. It's so fucking easy and it comes out so good.
Awesome. There was, you'd have to be somebody who spent around the 2020, 2021, really just following the world of G.I. Joe classified customizers. Which is what I was doing. There was this guy whose name was Yojo. It's an Instagram account, Yojo Ara, like a Real American Hero. So Yojo AHARA, a Real American Hero, whatever those letters are, because and he was a Citadel guy who was just doing customs of Joe characters. And back then, everybody was doing characters that had not been released. So you have everybody doing like Outback was not even out. And I learned a lot about painting from talking to him. He did an amazing job with flesh, and that's why I started using the Citadel colors, but I just couldn't master it like he did. That's it. He sold off everything that he made. But when he was doing it, at the time he was doing it, he wasn't selling anything. People were trying to give him like thousands of dollars, I think. He was my favorite customizer for a long time. It's weird. That whole world is gone. And it's been refilled by like assholes. Not to, it's just.
I was surprised last year when I went to Joe Lanta.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect to do. I brought. It was the first show last year that I had my first brushes at, and I didn't expect to do super well because I heard that it wasn't really a heavy mythic crowd. But I sold like 40 or 50 brush sets, and it was all to Joe customizers. I didn't even realize there were that many Joe customizers, but there was a shit ton there.
Dude, that's how I started painting. I mean, I started painting, I was a Marvel Legends customizer, but like Marvel Legends figures they're not that interesting to paint. Back in 2001, 2001, they were not very, it's just muscle tone, right? It's just like people in tights. So when the classified line started, that was when the classified line was pretty modular for, it's not like Legions, but it's very modular compared to anything else that like Hasbro, excuse me, or anything like the way you can switch the waist pieces. So that was, what I was doing. And I loved G.I. Joe so much as a kid that, but that was a whole world. And that was where so much 3D printing came from. It was like these two worlds were really the 3D printing at that time. And it's a huge subculture, but a lot of people that were doing it around when I had started have left, or they're doing other things because so many Joes have come out, and it is incredibly toxic. It is so
that really surprises me that you would be into Joe's. Like that just feels like a very like macho kind of
I was into the cartoon. I was into the cartoon though.
Gotcha.
And when everybody started customizing them, all of us were into the cartoon. Like my friends were into the cartoon. The first custom, like I had done the major characters, but like the reason I first started getting followers is because I did the fridge, and everybody was still doing the more popular characters. So then I started doing the weirder things that I like. Cold Slaughter, right? I would have never thought that that would be made into figures. So when what the fuck is his name? The head Dreadnought, who is the singer of Cold Slaughter. Cold Slither.
Okay.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Okay, well.
Not unless you're talking about Zartan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Zartan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when Zartan came out, he was like, that was the first time there was like a very different body, all these different parts, and everybody was super excited about it. And it came to me, I was like, nobody's going to do, nobody's doing Cold Slither. There's no anybody's doing it. I'm going to do it. And I had to order a second one, and it was rare at that time to get. I had to wait like another 3 weeks to get it. But the more and more obscure shit I did, the more and more follow. That's how I kind of built like a base. But then I started getting into the more and more weird shit I started doing over time. Then I started losing a base because I got really shit like Ninja Force. Nobody liked Ninja Force.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're making those figures now. But like Bonsai is one of my favorite. They haven't made him, but Bonsai is all pink and his legs are black with pink splatter paint. And he has like a bandolier with the sword across his. He's so fucking stupid looking. I love him. And the more and more I started doing pink shit like that, the more and more I started liking using pink. And I invented like my own storyline that was based on the what I would argue is one of the best figures of the early 2020s, which is the Pimp Daddy Destro figure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what if Pimp Daddy Destro actually was what happened to Destro, and he became like kind of cool like that, and he just formed his own crew in which they did things like heists and like drug running and things that would be on like HBO shows rather than like weapons, stuff that's like very typical G.I. Joe stuff. And I had a storyline. It was called Gold Slaughter, and the storyline, every custom I did, almost every one of them from 2021 to 2023 was building one world with a whole incredibly like developed lore and everything. And it's weird that that's over still.
So it's like you're doing fanfic with your customs?
It was absolutely fanfic. It was totally fan. But it's just like people doing Mythic Legions figures, and they're like, this guy is in, I don't know. Necronominus is or this guy's in the Brood. That's what people do, right? But it was fanfic that was like, it took the idea of what G.I. Joe was and it like totally kind of made fun of it, I guess. Like, I mean, Cobra Commander's like kind of a fucking loser and he loses every battle. So I just made him more of a loser. And then I brought in a multiverse and then Marvel characters, and I had like Deadpool. It was fucking really elaborate. And then I felt really trapped in that storyline and I stopped it. I killed everyone.
I killed everyone.
I had the Watcher come in and kill everyone.
I felt trapped and I killed everyone.
Well, I needed to end it. Like I was just done. And then I didn't know what to do, so I started again. And then I just stopped. I just stopped completely.
Could be like they all rode off in the sunset happy, and you're like, nah, we'll just kill them.
No, I didn't. What I did was I had Duke, and I made it so that Duke and Cobra Commander were killed by Snake Eyes and Destro because they found out that the entire time that G.I. Joe existed, it was actually a front for the government, and it was not real. They were using them to distract people from actual atrocities the government was committing.
Hey, you guys, Jenny just finished a big old pot of spaghetti. They're sitting down, so I got to go down there. I'll probably
all right,
back
tell her
here
Back
in
to the Future
minutes.
3 is terrible.
What? Oh, yeah, I will. All right, I'll be right back.
Tell her I disagree.
We got Mike in here to take your spot. So welcome back, Mike.
What up?
Hey. But the reason I brought that up, just to wrap that up, is I've done in the time like a bunch of different storylines that involved my customs, and they've not lasted. One I did when I first started doing Legions, like in 2024, when I started like really, it was last year that I did it. But what happened was I kept on meeting new people and getting new followers, and I was in the middle of this elaborate storyline. So I just had to stop it because it was like nobody knew what was going on. It's like no context. But that was a story in which Necronominus had a son who didn't want to be that's not the life he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he erased himself from everybody's memory and started like a cult. and it was very based on like 70s. Well, I can't explain this. It's fucking one to explain, but I just started a new one last week that I'm going to do. Like, I have probably 20 customs lined up for it. It's almost everything that I'm going to post soon, and it's not based on anything, not based on mythos or anything like that. It's just a fantasy city that is completely based on, it's all synthwave, and it's based on Miami Vice and Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So it's like exists in like a fantasy world, like stuff you would see in Dungeons and Dragons or in Mythos or Lord of the Rings, but it is also like completely elements of like Scarface and just all that 80s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the lore is up on my Instagram now, and it actually it came out very good. I think I don't usually say that about something I write, but I was really proud of it, and it got a really good response. Jesse really liked it, so I don't know if that is if you liked it, I feel like it's good. So people should read it. I'm just self-promo. I'm done now.
I mean, Jesse typically doesn't like shit all over things, so it's not
Yeah,
like
he's
not the toughest critic in the world, but
no, that's
yeah,
true. He left a comment that was like really, really, really nice.
That's good.
Nobody has to go out of their way to do that.
I personally think that your style lends itself more to cosmic than it does mythic.
Well, that's the reason that I and people say that all the time, but I really like making mythic, and I agree, and that's why I didn't do mythic stuff for a long time. I started doing cosmic stuff, but I
would love to see like a storyline with a bunch of figures that you do that ties into like Outpost Zaxia or.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing when I started. That was that storyline that I started with. It was like if you took like Mythos and you took a character that was Necronominus's son. I used that Pope head, that undead Pope head. That
yeah.
Right. So he looked, and it was Necronominus's body, and he looked like a crazy cult leader. That's where the idea came from. So then it was like, if you take this world, but you put in this guy, and the style is like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and like the Electrical Acid Test, and like 70s pulp movies, and like all this stuff like that, but in mythos. So it's it was also very, very based in what would be traditional fantasy. And then towards the end, and this is where I lost control of the story completely and didn't know what to do, he like he got like powers from Poxus somehow. I don't remember how, but he rotted reality during like some sort of like big like I don't know what the word is that I can't think of it, but some ceremony, whatever that they were doing, and ritual. Thank you. They were doing some like crazy ritual, and he rotted reality and found Cosmorium. And then there were all these characters that I made that were, there was like I made characters that were in there was a character that was from what's the one, the fuck? There's only one figure from it. It's Namex Vo. I can't think, Subsector 17 or something like that. It's where all of them have like cybernetic body parts, right?
Okay.
So the red spiral.
Maybe.
Yeah, King Knox Vol.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So the red spiral. That's right. Yeah. So then I made a character that was his elementary school girlfriend, but they were also in prison.
What the fuck? That is awesome.
They were also in prison together. They were in Habitar together, however you say that. So like, and she was actually a better fighter than him. But then there's this whole other like backstory. But that's what I was doing with all these characters. Also in Mythos was like, I had characters that were based very loosely on different factions or things like that. Like there was a character who accidentally joined Poxus is fucking there's something. I can't remember anything when I'm actually on something live and I'm talking. What is it called?
Well,
his faction.
Yeah.
Circle of Poxus.
Thank you. Right. He was in the Circle of Poxus, and he walked into a ritual thinking that like they were handing out pamphlets, and he just wanted something to eat, and he wound up joining accidentally.
Oh, that is something.
It was like,
wow.
all the stories were like that. Like every character they introduced had a backstory that started in mythos in one way or the other, and the majority of them were based somewhere in the lore, and then it just took off someplace totally bizarre, and they all wound up in this cult. And it was a lot of fun. Like the story was, I enjoyed it more than most things I've written or like with customs. But it was just, I was doing it, and all these people that's when I had started to meet more people in the Cabal, and I got more followers, and I was writing, and I was like, nobody knows what this is at this point. So like, it's really stupid to continue with this. So I just kind of ditched it. But that's why I'm starting this thing now. I like to make things with a theme and with a purpose, and it just feels like this story that I'm doing is everything that I like and the style of painting that I like. And because it's like based in stuff like it doesn't have to be fantasy all the time. Like one of the things that's going to happen is I'm going to, like have like vampires can go outside during the day if they have aviator sunglasses on. Like shit like that. Because it's the 80s. Like those rules don't really have to apply, right? Like you can take the lore that you would see in fantasy and you can just make it yours and turn it on its head and do it in a way that's both tribute and kind of like satire. You know what I mean?
Your brain works very differently than most, and it is awesome.
Thank you. I guess. I love stuff like that. Like I just want to be able, I like making fantasy characters are more interesting than cosmic characters in some ways, because making a sorcerer is really cool, and it's a class. Like there are rules to what a sorcerer is and what a wizard is and how they're different, and you would just make something as a cosmic character and you'd be like, they use magic. So when you develop a backstory or how it works, it's just very different, right? But I want it to look like the stuff that I tend to make, and I want it to have the things that I'm interested in, like in it, you know what I mean? So I just left room for that sort of thing, like, I guess. So there's like every once in a while I can just throw in 80s references. I'm making a car right now for a character. Like one of the characters I'm going to introduce, she is like the scariest. There's like a whole black market, and it's like messed up. And this woman's, her store is the hardest one. You can't even get into unless you know a secret, like instead of like a secret knock, it's like a secret spell. And the stuff in her store is like increasingly more disturbing. I haven't finished writing that part yet, but she's also married to, the woman she's married to is the, like, I think I'm going to have to make like magic like a sport or something. And so they're like tabloid fodder because their life is so extravagant. And it's just half of her backstory is just going to be tabloid headlines that are very 80s, but about two witches.
We had Von Berg Studios pops in and says, "Hey guys, welcome, Brian."
No, he's gonna have a Kickstarter for Ashen Oath revamped in September, so people keep a lookout for that.
Yep, you can go hit the notify button. It's a new one. If you were following the other one, you've got to go and hit the notify on the new one. And then Twizzler popped in, says just got back from Texas Roadhouse with his parents and brother. Yeah, that's fun. Get some of those cinnamon butter biscuits.
I don't know what that is, but it's
cinnamon butter rolls. Their rolls are awesome.
Yes, they are. They kick ass.
I'm just gonna. I need to see if something's dry. Be right back.
Alrighty.
Once my batteries go out on my little headlamp here, I'm sunk.
Electricity's still out, huh?
Oh yeah. I called them. It's the whole neighborhood. I called them just to get them on it. They said they'd have the issue taken care of by 5. We'll see.
Well, Brian's asking what you're working on, Mike.
Brian who?
Brian Burke.
Oh, Brian. Okay. So Brian, I am, when I retired, I really wanted to make a He-Man and Skeletor. I got them done. When I do my customs, I have to use all mythic parts because I want to make the tribute characters the way they would be if they were in the world of Mythos. So I did my He-Man and Skeletor the best I could with the existing parts, and now I am on Killer Instinct. If you remember that video game, I'm doing a Spinal character, and I hope at one point, once Windaji comes out, to do a Saber Wolf. So right now I'm working on Spinal's bracers. And then
now I don't think Brian grew up in Ohio, so he may not know what Killer Instinct is.
Oh, I bet you he knows what Killer Instinct.
He knows it. He knows it well.
I bet you he knows.
He says Fulgor was my KL character.
There you go. Mine was Spinal, baby. And you know who else I liked? Glacius. Glacius was kick-ass. He would freeze your ass. Just freeze it. And he was big, and he wasn't like Sub-Zero, that little bitch. He was... So if if you want to embiggen me, Brian, sure, and you want to see Spinal, let me get him off the stand here. So there's what I did with his head. His head, I don't know. It's dark here, so I don't know if you can see, but his eyes are red.
Yeah, that's showing.
And then his headband is just a Black Knight belt that I cut and glued to make look like the headband. The bracers right now are, if you can see, it is 2 bracers from the Skeleton Raider cut and put together. And then I'm painting them in the Spinal bracer colors. God, I don't know if I'm doing that any justice, but there you go, Brian. And if you want to see one on Spinal himself, see if I can get it on. And that's what it will look like on him.
Very cool.
And I guess trying to get to show both sides. Right there. Yeah. So that's the best I could come up with. It's kind of difficult when you only use mythic parts to do customs. You really have to come up with some ideas in order to do it.
Fun challenge though.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's with well, I was working on this. I'm working on Gene Simmons' guitar. But I didn't want to just like there's guitars out there you can just buy, but I wanted to make one. So this is one of the big axes that we got back in the day, and I shaved down some of the front side of this. I added a mace topper to the end there, and
Enoch mace. Yeah, that's cool.
Then cut this down. I added on the strap holders from the Lieutenant Holiday for his gun so that I can put the strap on there. And then doing some sculpting work and stuff on here. So yeah, when you're trying to make something that doesn't exist in Mythos with Mythos parts, it gives you like a fun challenge.
Yep. Yeah. The He-Man gauntlet was hard for me, or the harness. That's why I talked with Joe Bassapolo, and I'm like, if you guys can make a crisscross harness for the barbarians, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But he says
to make a bassist for like a band at one point.
What's that?
Curtis, were you working on a band and you did like every single like instrument
player? Leopard.
Well, so I've done 2 band members so far. I did the Eddie Van Halen,
Right.
back at my first
You did the
Legions
drummer
time.
from Def Leppard.
And then I did the drummer from Def Leppard.
And you
then
said you were going to work on a bassist, and you never did.
Yeah.
Rick Allen.
Yeah,
Rick
Gene
Allen.
Simmons is the bassist.
Oh,
so.
you said guitar, and I forget.
Oh, so
Yeah.
your band is gonna be players from who's gonna be the lead singer?
I haven't decided that yet, but this is where I'm at with this one. So,
Oh my God, that is
Wow.
sweet.
That's amazing.
so I took the 2.0 Pauldrons and attached it to the arm bands from the Urzak. So instead of it being higher up to where he couldn't turn his head, it's more on his shoulder. And then the rest of this is mostly Urzak parts here. But then I used the black legs from what is that? Lee J. Used the green forearms from the deluxe orc, and then this Billy head. All I did was I dremeled out his front teeth, and then added in the tongue from the Jersey Devil, and then cut off the fork part on it to bring it more to a point. So.
Yeah. Hey guys, I gotta leave. I'm out of power on my phone, so
All right,
I'm
man.
going
You have a
dark.
good one.
See ya.
Yeah.
See you.
I was thinking about doing a Lemmy, but it didn't never happen. But I was going to use this head, if you could see it, because he's got he's got those moles. I was going to sculpt some like long hair on him, but I never did it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you said you were doing a bassist. I remember being like, is he going to do Lemmy? Because then
Well, the head that I'm using here for this one is the head that I've used for all of those musical ones.
Yeah, that's
because
what I was
in that God's Fire, part of that guy's bio, his name's Billy. That's the character that they created for God's Fire. And in his bio, it says that he is very musically inclined, and he's always like either humming or tapping on something or playing like something. So when I did the first one, I did the, Eddie Van Halen, and then I just wanted to like continue to make like musical tributes of people that, even though I'm using a goblin head for it, just based on their outfit, you could tell who it is.
so like,
it's kind
you
of
said
the
that my
idea.
brain works in weird ways, right? But like making a goblin version of like, the drummer from like Eddie Van Halen was amazing, but the drummer from Def Leppard, that was like something else. Thinking to make a goblin version of that is pretty crazy and very funny. So I don't know.
My thought process is like, okay, so everyone's going to have the same goblin head, right? So I've got to find something to where when people look at the body without the head, that they're going to immediately know, hey, I know where that's from, right? Well, when you see a one-armed drummer, you pretty much right away know what that is, right? So that was kind of like, that was where it started, was like, okay, because I was like, who's a drummer that if you saw them, like you didn't see their head, but you just saw them sitting behind the drum set, that you would know. And that was like the first one that came to my mind.
Really the only one that I can think of.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, I have a bunch of really specific jokes that maybe nobody will get. So maybe I won't. I really thought the bassist was going to be Duff. I don't know why. I think it must have been an episode of something that you were talking about it, but I don't know what it would have been. It was a long time ago. It's like when I first started watching, like YouTube, like for this community, and you had been talking about those characters, and you said that the next one was going to be a bassist, and you wouldn't say what it was, and I thought it was going to be Duff.
I did explore several options, but the most iconic looking that I could think out of them was Gene Simmons. So
yeah, you kept on saying guitar, so I was like, I thought Gene Simmons was the bassist, but maybe it's the guitarist. So you just confused me.
sorry, didn't mean to confuse you.
Shut up. Oh, I thought you were making a joke about how I'm easily confused. Sorry.
No, I was not.
I'm so used to you making fun of me for things like that I just assumed that was where you were going. And I know I would have couldn't blame
I honestly think, because people keep asking me about lead singer, But I think my next one is actually going to be the piano because I really want to do an Elton John one. But I also need to figure out how the fuck I can make a piano using Legion's parts. That's going to be fun. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I mean, that's going to be the challenge.
You have like large, if you cut and combined something from the diorama sets, you might be able to get something together. That'll because they're large and they're like square. Right. I don't know. I mean, you're going to figure it out, and your idea will be better than that. But that's all I could think of. So, like I said, for this, this world, most of this world is actually just like a lot of like dark fantasy knights and stuff like that. Because I just really love making them. Which is why when Athen, I don't know if Brian's still here, but that's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to Ashen Oath. Is hold on, but I'm also making stuff that like does not belong in fantasy at all, and I have been doing a lot of going to like really going to local stores that are like vintage stores that mostly have toys, or stores that are like just collectible stores but have cheap bins. And I recently found a remote control Corvette, like an 80s Corvette.
That
fits an entire 1.0 figure comfortable.
Oh wow.
Two, one on each side. So I'm still trying to get the stickers off on that though, because it is very, very old. So I have it in something called Goof Off that it's like soaking in a pot with this thing called Goof Off that helps get stickers off, and like in hot water. And I have another Corvette. I may have shown this before, but this is a James. It's a fucking.
It's Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris karate Corvette that does this.
Yeah.
So this is really hard to find generally on eBay, and it is incredibly expensive on eBay because it's large to ship, and I got it for $35. And then I
think Mark Thomas is looking for one of those just to like have as is.
Who is?
Mark Thomas.
Oh, I mean,
he does the double jointed with Schmerber Saturday Morning Toy Collector.
I have another
but one. He went down a rabbit hole collecting Chuck Norris figures last year, and he got because there's only like 8 figures or something that came out for it. And he got all the figures, but he could not find the car at a decent price.
You can find. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I have one that I made a long time ago for that Gold Slaughter group that I made into like it was very like I put guns all over it.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. It was cheap, but it was in terrible shape.
Yeah, Brian, when I did the drum kit for mine, I used shields, like the big wooden shields for the bass part of the drum set, and then like filled it. I used like parts of a spear to kind of hold them together, and then filled it with believe it was aluminum foil, and then clay, like epoxy. And then for the parts on the top of the drum set, like the drums up top, I used the barrels from a slog, like the ones that go into his torso, and like shaved those down, and did some other work to it. And then for the cymbals, I used like those like metallic shields, and it was a challenge, but I did everything was either stuff that I sculpted myself or mythic parts or cosmic parts, with the exception of the printed head was the only like printed part that I did. So yeah, that was a fun one to do. even the like his drumstick that, you know, because he only needed one because he's only got one arm. But I used like the what is it, the what's the thing that they whip around with the chain and the ball at the end? Flail. I used the flail and I took the chain off of it and used that as I kind of shaved it down a little bit, I think. But yeah, use that as his drumstick. So, and then like on the Def Leppard drum set, they've got like shattered glass on the front of the drum set, right? And so I used the front of a clamshell from a Mythic Legion figure to like cut up and make it look like broken glass on the front of it.
That's very clever.
So yeah, I was pretty happy about that. I was like, ooh, I could use this for broken glass and like cut the clamshell up for it. So
this just dried. I lost it early this morning. This is a Last Action Hero car that looks a lot like if you guys know, like a Shelby
Cobra.
oh yeah,
Cobra, right? So one of the wheels here, I'll show the other side where the wheel didn't fall off. But so I did it all. I don't know why the light is terrible, but like the color on top is like a light. There's a fade from a darker kind of like.
That's cool.
It's like a purple magenta, and then there's a lighter one on top, and then all of the things like the engine is an even lighter version of that, and it fits a goblin like exactly. I have a swig somewhere. Yeah. So a lot of the Kenner and toys like that, just not the Star Wars, because those are obviously smaller, but they fit goblins, like, because those figures are the exact size. So
that's cool.
So that's one thing I'm working on. I also got this, and I didn't even know what the fuck it was. It's like a foot soldier truck van thing, and I'm going to modify it a bunch, and I'm going to have it pulled by a horse, so it'll be like kind of like a crazy, like a attack carriage. I don't know what else to call it.
That's cool.
So I did well recently shopping at these stores.
Good job.
All this stuff was super cheap.
And those people had no idea that you were going to tear it apart and paint it and all that.
Some of them, they asked me what I was doing with it. I tried to film at one of them, like I had done that toy hunt video, but like it was really small, and every part of the experience, I got really good stuff, and they had really cool stuff, but you know, there was so much going on that I just couldn't comment on in a way that was, I wanted anybody around me that was working there to hear. It was just like, it was a crazy, everything about what was going on there was crazy. But it was cool. It's this place close to me, and they have, I had not been there before, but they have a weird selection of things, but they have a lot of vinyl, and they have some really valuable vinyl for very little money. I got a copy of the original in perfect condition 12-inch for White Lines by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, which is worth like $80, and I got it for 10. And they knew what it was worth. And they have a section in the basement for stuff that is worth more money, because they also have an eBay store. and they take you in. If some people, like if you took, they'll take you into the basement section, and it's kind of a weird experience, but they have stuff lined up all over. They had like big gym toys from the 70s that I never heard of before, but I've heard Trevor talk about because he's old. This is actually a true story.
That sounds like the beginning of some Liam Neeson movie where he's got to come and save you because you were stupid enough to go down into the basement.
It was weird because the guy who worked there must have had some surgery recently. He's like younger than me though and super jacked, but he was walking like with his legs open really wide like this, like back and forth, and it was just like really slow, and he didn't really tell me where to go, and it was just a weird experience. The whole experience was very strange.
That's funny.
But like when you get a lot of stuff at stores like this, they just cut the price down on everything. I did not spend. One of the things I got was listed at $25. I got I think $45 total for 4 items.
Wow.
So,
all right. Well, we are at 2 hours, so I think we're going to go ahead and close up shop.
Really? Wow.
Because I have not eaten at all today, and I need to get something to eat. So let me embiggen myself first. So these wings didn't really do a whole lot on these today, other than I just added some of this this UV putty to it. I'm hoping that thickens up that peg a little bit to where it's going to hold that a little bit better. Worked a little bit on this guitar, dremeled out this little section there. So this looks more kind of like the bottom of a bat. And then I'm going to Dremel this down, obviously prime and repaint that and all that. Also drilled out or like countersunk some holes in here on the end of there where I'm going to put, you're hardly going to be able to see these, but these little like metal crimpy things that Darla uses in the capes. I'm going to put that in the end of this to hold the strings for the bass guitar. But which is really not strings. It's going to be a really thin wire that like she sometimes uses for capes. So that's for the guitar. On the feet, just sculpted some, kind of nasty green stuff here to blend in from the teeth into the rest of the boot, which I'll be dremeling and sanding down once that hardens. And then I worked on, kind of fixing the mohawk on this dude that I fucked up because I dropped like an idiot.
That's what you dropped?
Yeah. So doesn't look great now, but once it finishes hardening, I'll be able to kind of Dremel some extra hair follicles and stuff in there, shape it a little bit better. And then the process of repainting will begin. And then I worked on these things, which are like little gems that were on like a brooch thing that Darla found, and just rounding those out to make them into eyes that are going to go into the shoes, which are supposed to be like little dragon heads on the feet.
Oh, wow.
So this will be the eyes for it, which I'll paint. They're supposed to be red, but instead of having to sculpt eyes, I just worked on that instead. So, and I think that's everything. So no painting today, but I still feel like I got quite a bit accomplished. So, Josh Brown jumped in. Welcome. Says, Jay, you got to use the buddy system when you go into basements. That's true.
Noted.
Also, not sure if you guys saw it, but Josh Brown is working with Gian Art and Recon Rage and Jared Tanner of Legion Forge, and they are working on these Recon Rage heads for Legion's Con that look badass.
Yeah.
It is a skeleton head with wings on it. That also has like a couple different like Spartan helmet attachments, as well as a sword that like will go through the head. It looks kick ass, and they're going to have them painted at Jared's table, and they're going to have them unpainted at Josh Brown's table. So I am super excited for that. I've already tried to put an order in. I wanted to pay Josh ahead of time, but he said that he would lose it. So I'm gonna have to remember to make sure I have enough money for that at Legion's Con, because I need multiples of that set. It looks badass. So
those are also great people involved with that.
Oh yeah, they're all awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, Kyle, we're going to you next. Let's see what you got accomplished today.
I did the blue on the helmet, but kind of see the blue right there as long as it doesn't blend in with the background.
Oh, it looks good.
All the way around. I did
Very
same blue on the arm piece. Same thing with the other one. And then I did the same blue on the accent colors of like the shoulder pauldron, the chest piece, then the steel silver color around the hoses. And that's about it.
Very cool. Jay, we'll go over to you.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't get much done, but this, I guess I came in late. It feels like it went by pretty fast. I was just doing like lining on these, a bunch of different things. So I was working on the pride shields, which this one's a little bit messed up, but this one's looks a little bit better. But these I'm going to have at Legion's Con. I'm going to have a whole ton of them, and the proceeds are all going to go to charity, to the Trevor Foundation, which does great work as a suicide prevention hotline for LGBTQ youth. This is a character I'm working on. I don't know what he's going to be yet, but this is actually a head that I got from Josh. That's on it.
Very cool.
I was just doing black. I dry brushed this, and I was black, going and doing the black there. I put the car together, and that was all I did with it. I don't know if I did anything else. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, that's still good enough. And then we got Carlo's back. Carlo, we're getting ready to sign out, but what you got accomplished today that you actually saved?
Well, I did California here, right there. This one looks like they're just like rocks. It's cracked earth.
Nevada.
Working. Yeah, so just cracked earth. Did like these little specklies on there. See how it prints up. After the show here, I'm gonna go print this up. But the thing with this is every time I do something up here, it makes it all wiggly at the bottom, and it's got to be a perfect square. So I have to keep coming back in and straighten up the wobbliness of it. So yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna put some stalactite on top and stalagmites on the bottom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. As far as the rest of the day for me, I've got Shooting the Shelf in a few hours. We are going to be talking about the best 2-pack in Mythos. We've got several folks on to defend their version of the what they think is the best 2-pack. So you've got Trevor is going to come on and defend the Gorgo Attila 2-pack. You've got Mark Halseal is going to come on and defend the Goblin pack. Stephen Bishotti is going to defend the Furious 4. Chris Garwich is going to come on and defend the Gaspar Garwich 2-pack. And then Joe Gonzalez is going to be on to defend the Dwarf 2-pack. So, and then after all is said and done, Jesse and I are going to take the information that we got from the poll in the Cabal, as well as the information that those guys share and the cases that they produce. And then we're going to decide, Jesse and I, once and for all, which is the best 2-pack in Mythos.
But how can you decide when you're missing the best 2-pack? It's not Mythos. It's not Mythos.
Yeah, we only did the Mythos ones. And we could have included the Waltor, but there is a Cosmic in there, so that disqualified it. So, so yes, this is just the Mythic ones. So, okay. And we didn't count the ones with the horses because horses suck and fuck them. So,
okay.
And later this week should have a Curtis Reed's episode drop. Also, we'll be traveling this week, which means there will be a travel toy video at some point. And if you have not seen it yet, I did do an exploded figure review on the Malignancy of Gob Hollow. It's an amazing 2-pack that does have a crap ton of parts. So check that out if you haven't seen that yet. It's pretty awesome. Kyle, what you got coming up?
I got nothing. I'm a boring person.
I disagree with that, but okay.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Carlo, I know you guys just had StatueCon. You got Motu Fest coming up. Anything else that you want to share with folks?
Nah. We'll see you at the next con, I guess.
Very cool. All right. Jay, what about you? What you got coming up? People should know about.
I have nothing coming up really, but I'll just promote that storyline on that I have on my Instagram again, because I'm just going to be doing a bunch of customs on there. That's just going to tell an extended story about a mythic city that is based on Miami Vice and Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And
Nice.
I just dropped a character kind of based loosely on, or I should say posted based loosely on Scarface and Joe Pesci in Casino today.
I mean, if you've got storylines in it that include characters' girlfriends from elementary school, I'm in.
Well, this is a good place in Mythos. I felt like, I don't know why, because I feel like it's so not wholesome that it felt weird to make it take place in Mythos.
Gotcha.
It's not at all.
And then later on tonight, also, I will be on Toy Hammer After Dark, if any of you are into Warhammer. And I think that is everything. So we had Michael on here earlier. Make sure you check out Legion's Lair and check out the customs that he's been making. He's been doing some awesome work. So check out his stuff. And we will be back next week with Mod Squad on Saturday on the Legion's Ladies channel, as well as Customizing Studio on Sunday. So until then, keep creating, folks.